All right, Alpine. This is going to be fun. I mean, it's fair to say that Williams have, regressed since last year, but I think the team that's probably regressed the most since last year has to be Alpine. They started the season with, quite frankly, the worst car on the grid, and to their credit, they have improved it. Results have improved, and they did manage to score their first points of the season at the Miami Grand Prix. So they did improve, and they've had scored points since then. I mean, look at Pierre Gasly. He got a 4-race streak where he managed to score points in a row, which is impressive in that car to say the least. But that being said, their highest finish of the season is 9th, which, given the dominance of Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes, best of the rest position now, if all those cars finish, is 9th. So you could say that 9th place is actually pretty good in that sense, but because of that, they've not scored big points, and it can't be understated that they are under risk of being overtaken by Williams. Their 8th place in the Constructors' Championship is not assured. They're currently sat on 11 points. They managed to get a sprint point, I think, as well on that. But then catching Haas and RB ahead, out of the question, I think. That gap's too much. Haas are on over double points of Alpine, and RB are on over triple. So it's really not comparable. The best that Alpine can hope for this season, I think, is 8th overall. And their results of late, I mean, Ocon did score a couple points at Belgium, but on the whole, recently, the last few races, they have dropped off a bit. And of course, we have to talk about the teammates, Gasly and Ocon, the mortal enemies. Ocon, crashing into Gasly at the Monaco Grand Prix, effectively being given the boot because of that. Their second driver is not yet set. They will get Gasly for next year. It's looking likely that they're going to get Jack Doohan as their second driver. Carlos Sainz was offered the position, but he turned them down to go to Williams, which really shows you the instability there. Bruno Famin has been removed as team principal. They've got Oliver Oakes coming in, which could be a good thing for them, but it just shows the instability again. They've not really got a long-term kind of vision there. And of course, there's rumours about not only the engine department being shut down at Viry-Châtillon in France, but also on top of that, the team actually selling up and leaving the sport altogether. So Renault might not be in Formula One at all in a couple seasons' time. So that just shows you the dark cloud that is over the team. The top drivers don't want to race for them, and yeah, so it's not been good for Alpine. I think overall their drivers for the most part have performed well. Just a point between Gasly and Ocon. Gasly on 6 points, Ocon on 5. They are very evenly matched, but I will give a different grade. I mean, this is something that got talked about in the comments as well. Someone said, you should grade Gasly and Ocon the same because they've got pretty much the same points, but I respectfully disagree from that, because at the end of the day, Alpine have got rid of Ocon, and there's a reason why they've done that, and it's because he's not a team player, and he's someone who literally crashed into his teammate. And for me, you have to get marked down for that. You can get some good grades in your class, but if you're getting detention all the time and missing lectures, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, is it? Then again, this is coming from me looking like this right now. But anyway, overall, I have given Alpine an E. I wouldn't say that it's been an F like Sauber. I wouldn't say that they've failed outright, but they have fallen massively short of expectations, and operationally they are a mess behind the scenes. Gasly I've given a C because I feel like he's done just enough overall. Ocon's performances, I've given him a D for that, because at the end of the day, like I said, he did crash into his teammate, which is poor. Overall, his actual performances have probably been good enough, but it's just that's a real black mark against his name. Like I said, you can perform, you can do well in class, you can get some good grades, but if you misbehave and throwing paper airplanes at your teacher and stuff, you're not going to get a good grade, are you? And that's what Ocon's done. Instead of throwing a paper airplane, he's thrown his car into Gasly's, and that's a pretty terrible analogy, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let's move on. Next one's up.